Today we're reading some more terrifying Reddit stories and I hope you guys are excited. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe if you want to. I took such a cute photo of Nez a second ago and I have to share it with you guys. Okay, onto the episode. Enjoy, guys. Am I the gay hot for letting you know that I'm divorcing you by sending you a thread on the website that you use to ignore me? Hi, maybe you'll finally listen. If you're wondering if you can just speed home and stop me from doing this and leaving, it's too late. I'm sending you this after I've already loaded everything into the car and left. Don't worry, I spoke with our landlords and took my name off the lease. I've set up a direct deposit for the next month's rent. After that, you're on your own, buddy. I guess you're wondering why. I'm guessing you'll act like you're completely blindsided, right? Because you've done absolutely nothing wrong and you're a great husband and father to be, aren't you? Well, buddy, let me break it down for you in a language that you understand. I, 29 female, have been married to my husband, 35 male, for 5 years, and we've been together for nearly 10. On paper, everything seemed fine, but in reality, our marriage has been anything but. I've reached my breaking point, and I need to know if I'm the one in the wrong here. From the beginning, my mother has been a nightmare. She made everything about her from day one. At our wedding, she wore white, claiming that it was a family tradition. It wasn't. She constantly criticizes me from my cooking to my appearance. I'll never forget the time she called me fat at a family gathering right in front of everybody. And what did my husband do? Nothing. Not a single word to defend me. It didn't stop there. She has accidentally destroyed my belongings, including my grandmother's necklace, which she threw out because it looked like cheap costume jewelry. She's gone out of her way to make me feel small and unwelcome in my own home, but every time I tried to talk to my husband about it, he'd brush it off, saying that I was overreacting or being too emotional. And then there's my husband. He's always on Reddit, constantly giving strangers relationship advice, which is laughable considering how he treats me. He spends more time rating women's boobs on Reddit than talking to me, literally. And just so you know, the last pair he rated weren't a 4 out of 10, they were a 10 out of 10. Yeah, he's got plenty of time to do that, but can't be bothered to remember anything about my life. He'll forget my birthday, our anniversary, even simple things like I'm working on or what's important to me, but he's got a perfect memory for his work schedule and things that matter to him. When we fight, he becomes incredibly hostile and always throws in a sarcastic buddy at the end of his sentences, like I'm some acquaintance that he can barely tolerate, and he never cleans the house, the dishes, laundry, you name it. It's all on me. It's like he thinks being an adult is optional, as long as he's got his job and his Reddit account. The final straw came a few weeks ago. I'm 5 months pregnant with our first child, a daughter. My mother-in-law started making comments about how she'll have to whip the girl into shape and how she'll raise her to be tough because I'm too soft. When I told my husband that I didn't want his mother to have too much influence on our daughter, especially with the way that she treats me, he just laughed it off, saying that his mother means well and that I was overthinking it. But the moment that truly broke me was when talking about future childcare, and my husband suggested that his mother should watch our daughter while we work. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that, especially considering how his mother treats me, and he snapped. He called me paranoid and said that I should get over it because his mother was going to be a big part of our daughter's life whether I liked it or not. This is the same woman who believes corporal punishment is okay. I've seen her hit my husband's nephew for the smallest things, and nobody does anything about it. It's like they're all living in some kind of cult, and I'm finally waking up to the reality of what's going on. If he wouldn't stand up for me, how could I expect him to stand up for our child? I started to fear for what kind of environment our daughter would grow up in, a place where she might be belittled or bullied by her own grandmother, with a father who wouldn't do anything to stop it. Oh, and did I mention that he missed our first ultrasound? His mother needed him to help her with something urgent. It turned out to be fixing her Wi-Fi. He chose that over seeing our daughter for the first time. That told me everything that I needed to know about where I stand in his life, so I packed up and left. I'm done living like this. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I've already contacted a lawyer. You can't scare me into complying anymore because I have all the text messages. You know which ones I'm talking about. So I wish you all the best in your future marriage with your mother and the women of Reddit whose boobs you don't even deserve. Am I the gay hole for leaving my husband after he neglected me for years, let his mother mistreat me, and made me fear for our future daughter's safety? Tiny update, he has read the post. He's mad that apparently one of you found him based on the rate my boobs thing. He has deleted his account. For any purposes, I want to clarify that I left out actual incriminating information that could lead to doxing him. Any and all people who are pretending to know me or have any incriminating information about me are lying. I am not from South Carolina. I'm not moving in with any other guy, and I'm also not sleeping around. Oh my god. What did we just read? That's unbelievable. And also, I don't think I've ever seen a post on this subreddit get that many upvotes that fast. This post has 60,000 upvotes, and it's only from 15 hours ago. Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole. I hope him and his mummy wife are eternally trapped with each other. She failed raising her son into a complete autonomous human and would have tried to damage your daughter, and he would have let her. This comment says, I can't believe you came between him and his mum. You hussy. OP said, I'm legit the side chick in my marriage. Yeah, the comment under that. Out of all the things I've read on this thread, if this one's real, it definitely takes the cake and the baker too. 10 out of 10 post. But yeah, of course, not the a-hole. That was so unbelievable. Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole, nothing worse than a man that chooses his mummy over the family that he's creating. Completely. Post number 2 is called, Am I the a-hole for leaving my sister's wedding early after she called my career a hobby? So I, 26 female, just got back from my sister's 28 female wedding last weekend, and I'm still pretty upset about what happened. I'm hoping that you all can give me some perspective because right now, I feel like crap. Some background, my sister Anna and I have always had a complicated relationship. She's the type A, always on top of everything, super successful one, while I've always been more laid back and creative. I'm an artist and I recently started my own small business selling my paintings and doing commissions. It's been slow, but it's starting to pick up, and I am really proud of it. But my family, especially Anna, has always been a bit dismissive of my career choice. They don't get why I didn't go the traditional route like she did. Anyway, fast forward to the wedding. The ceremony was beautiful and I was so happy for her. I even helped out a lot with the planning, even though I wasn't the maid of honor. That was her best friend. I was doing my best to be there for her because despite everything, she's my sister and I love her. At the reception, I did finally get a moment alone with Anna to congratulate her. I told her how amazing everything was, how happy I was for her and all that stuff, and she just smiled and said, thanks, I'm surprised you actually made it. I figured you'd be too busy with your little hobby business. Wow, why would you say that? I was stunned. Like, did she really just call my career a hobby? I kind of laughed it off and said, it's not a hobby, it's my job. But she just shrugged and said, well, it's not a real job, but I'm glad you're having fun with it. Wait, so this is happening at the reception of her wedding? She's this bitter and rude on her own wedding day? Oh, she sucks, OP. What a giant a-hole to say something like that. I didn't know what to say, so I walked away. I tried to enjoy the rest of the night, but honestly, I couldn't shake what she said. It felt like she was belittling everything that I've been working so hard for. So after dinner, I just decided to leave. I didn't say goodbye to her or anybody. I just grabbed my stuff and left. Now my mum is furious with me for ruining the night by leaving early, and Anna hasn't spoken to me since. My dad's trying to stay neutral, but he did say that I might have overreacted. Overreacted by what? Just leaving quietly? If there's not like a whole bunch of missing information here, OP, you're definitely not the a-hole. I don't know, maybe I did overreact, but it really hurt hearing her say that, especially on her wedding day when I was just trying to support her. Am I the a-hole for leaving the wedding early? Oh, your sister sounds so bitter and sad, OP. And also, if you leaving quietly ruined the whole wedding, it sounds like a bloody boring wedding. No, I don't feel like you're the a-hole, OP. Once again, unless you left out a whole bunch of information. But no, if it's just what you've said here, definitely not the a-hole. Imagine being so bitter and snarky about somebody else's job. Also, even if it was a hobby, that's such a rude thing to say and such an unnecessary thing to say. Like, people only say stuff like that if they're trying to upset the other person or trying to be mean, because there's no reason to say stuff like that otherwise. Yeah, no, she sucks, OP. And why does she feel like she's so much better than you, OP? There's nothing more lame in the world than somebody who's on paper successful, but they use that to like make other people feel bad and make them feel like they're not as good as them. People like that are sad inside 100%. Acting like because she did, what did you say, OP? Like the traditional route, that she's so much better than you or something? Cringe. Yeah, like the top comment says, not the a-hole. It was rude to begin with, but the fact that that's how she responded to you congratulating her tells me that she was intentionally trying to be hurtful and dismissive, and you did not overreact by leaving. Her response to you was incredibly inappropriate. Is it possible there's a bit of jealousy that your passion has become a sustainable career, and that deep down maybe she's not quite as satisfied with her career? Just a thought. It could also be that she's just an asshole, but I find that sometimes jealousy comes out as snark and criticism. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. That's definitely how it comes across, like jealous and bitter and sad and angry, snarky and just mean. Yeah, after you congratulated her on her wedding day. That's so bad. Yeah, this one too, not the a-hole. Your sister's comment was hurtful, especially since you were there to support her on her big day. Calling your career a hobby undermined the hard work and passion that you've put into your art. Yeah, the comment under that. Yeah, well, I just wanted to come and celebrate your little fling. And the one under that too. I'll stay longer at your next wedding. Yeah, your sister's a giant a-hole, OP. OP did leave this comment. Actually, I did miss a couple of things. I couldn't make it to one of the dress fittings because I had a client meeting, and I did skip a family dinner they had with the in-laws because I was finishing up a big commission. But I was at the bridal shower, the bachelorette party, and I helped with a bunch of the DIY stuff for the wedding. I tried to be there for the important stuff, you know? So yeah, her comment really threw me off. I get that she might have been a little annoyed that I missed some stuff, but I didn't expect her to make take a dig at me like that, especially on her wedding day. It just felt like a cheap shot. To be fair, this is not the first time she's made a comment like that either. She's always been a little bit snarky about my art career, like she said before that she doesn't think I can make a real living off it, but I thought we were past all of that. I guess not. Yeah, and also, what's a real living? Like, what does that even mean, sister? OP, you could start making way more money than your sister makes, and then what's your sister gonna say? That sort of dismissive attitude that people have where they think that everybody else is below them. It's so lame. And yeah, like that first comment said, it might definitely be rooted in jealousy, OP. Yeah, this one too, not the a-hole. Your petty sister made a choice to insult you at a wedding. She chose to bring that kind of toxic bullshit to her own wedding. She's a jerk. 1,000,000%. The next one is called My Sister Told Me That She and My Fiance Were Having an Affair Before His Death. Oh no. So about a month ago, my 25 female fiance, 27 male, had unfortunately gotten killed in a car crash. Oh, I'm so sorry, OP. It was devastating for everybody, especially since me and him were gonna have our wedding in September of this year, and we're planning on buying a new house together next year. It was like everything that I dreamed of had come true before it all came crashing down. Of course, I haven't been taking it well and just been staying in bed, not wanting to talk to anybody. On some occasions, I'm drinking myself to sleep, but today my friends were able to give me the courage to finally go outside after nearly 4 weeks of staying indoors. I'll admit I wasn't looking forward to it, but I did have a good time with them, and I even got a smile on my face for the first time ever since my fiance's death. But when I came back home and walked into the living room, that's when I saw my sister, 22 female, in my wedding dress, music playing in the background while she was looking at herself in the mirror, with the really obvious tears down her face. When she noticed me, immediately she screamed at me to get out, but I stood my ground and refused until she'd explained herself. And that's when she broke down and told me that before my fiance's death, her and him had been having an affair, and they were planning on running away together before the wedding. Nah. When she told me all that, I started to have a panic attack, and I ran to lock myself in my room. Oh my god, for everybody's sake, I hope this one isn't real. She did try and get me out so she could explain herself more, but what is there more to explain? I feel sick even writing this, to be honest. I don't want to look at her, I don't want anything to do with her, and all I've been doing is crying all day. This year has been the worst in my entire life, and I don't know what to do. Whoa. Right, so hopefully this one isn't real. The top comment says, hold on, don't just believe her immediately, try to get some sort of proof first, otherwise she's just slandering him. The comment below that one says this, I had a friend who was dating somebody for 2 to 3 months without that person knowing. This comment says, not the a-hole, I'm so sorry that happened to you. There could also be another side of the story that maybe she was in love with your fiance and those feelings were not reciprocated. He's no longer here to defend himself. Before I'd fully believe her that he betrayed you, I try to look at his phone for proof. I don't know that I'd believe anything that she says without actual proof. If it's not on his devices, surely it'd be on hers. Definitely tell your parents ASAP and go no contact with her anyway. Just to play devil's advocate, it's still possible that maybe she had a thing for him and those feelings were a one-way thing. OP said, I don't have his phone unfortunately, but I'm not sure how I'd be able to gain access to her phone as it has a password. The no contact part would be very hard, to be honest, since we've both been close to each other since the beginning, and I still love her, but at the same time I still just want to hurt her for what she said to me. This comment says, not the a-hole. I don't believe your sister's telling the truth. I do believe that she was obsessed with him, but I doubt it was reciprocated. He probably didn't even notice. You know that she's unhinged by the fact that she was stood there in your wedding dress. She's making it up to hurt you. Yeah, like whether or not it is true or not, OP, she sounds so toxic. Am I the a-hole because I'm intentionally not letting my neighbor in, causing her and her dog to sit outside in the dark? I live in an apartment block, and to access the property after 8 p.m, you have to carry your front door key with you. We were all told this prior to moving in. A tenant has moved in downstairs and she leaves the back door unlocked to allow herself to come and go without taking her key. She is not supposed to do this, and she's been told multiple times to take her front door key in case the door locks, which she's ignored. She started treating me like a doorman, knocking loudly on my window and repeatedly buzzing my apartment to try to get me to open the door for her. It's daily, and it rolls up my dog every time, and it always occurs after 9 p.m. I've let her in twice in good faith and then told her the third time to take her key and that I'll no longer be answering. She decided to go out with the dog this evening and again didn't bother to take her key. When she started buzzing and knocking on my window super loud, I shut off my buzzer, gave my dog a treat, and I shut the doors, deciding to ignore her and continue watching my movie instead. This is where I could be the a-hole. It's dark out at the moment, late, and she's outside by herself with her dog. She's been out there for about 45 minutes. We also live in a shady area, so not dangerous, but definitely not pleasant at nighttime. She's been sat outside on the doorstep on her phone angrily ranting about me to her friends like I'm her dad or something. I don't know this woman aside from her treating me like a concierge. Am I the a-hole? Edit for update. I opened the door. I said I wouldn't, but quite frankly, I couldn't go to sleep knowing that she and her dog were out there. I went downstairs and I opened the door and I told her that this was the last time and I'll be reporting to management and calling the police if she does knock on my windows anymore. I'm gonna just hope that a few hours outside has got the message across. Sorry for everybody who told me to not give in, but it's nearing midnight here and as much as she pisses me off, I'm not about to leave her out there. Yeah, wow, talk about making an issue that doesn't need to exist. Why doesn't she just take the bloody key with her? No, you're not the gay hoe OP, and she's super entitled. The top comment says reported to management every single time. It may take a while, but she'll either stop or get kicked out. They have liability if they know, and anybody ever comes in who should not, steals or worse or harms people, if they don't take this seriously, tell them. Give them an example, somebody with DV in their past or somebody on drugs who's a friend of a resident, and these types come in to hurt somebody. The management is on hook for any and all cost to the tenants and the building, including medical, and OP said I'm 100% calling the management tomorrow to lodge a report against her. It's 10 PM at night and she's still knocking on my windows. Yeah, and also this comment, well, it looks like she does not like hanging out with the consequences of her own actions. Tough shit. You can open the door before you go to bed, just this once if you want to, but inform her that next time you won't even do that. Not the a-hole. Yeah, definitely not the a-hole OP. You did the right thing. Am I the a-hole for refusing to come clean and ruining my ex-husband's relationship? I, 42 female, divorced my ex-husband Chad, 42 male, for cheating with his current wife Rebecca, 30 female, a few years back. I'll spare the details, but basically something Chad did set off alarm bells, so I did some snooping, and I discovered a paper trail that led me to Rebecca. I was so furious and hurt, but instead of confronting him about it then, I waited and collected evidence. I found Rebecca on social media and I joined one of the online clubs that she was in. We did have the same interests, so it wouldn't be that big of a red flag if either Chad or Rebecca found out, and I just played it cool. I waited until after our youngest was in school so I could get a part-time job, and I got Chad to pay for my certification so I could get a better job. During this time, he'd go on trips and book hotels and buy gifts, etc. with a secret account that I was able to access because I know Chad well enough to guess his passwords, and that he only sets his alerts when somebody tries to use it. After I'd moved certain things out of the house without his knowledge, and I was able to convince him to take his name off my car, I handed him the divorce papers of the hotel lobby he was in waiting for Rebecca. I had tons of pictures of them together, but I only showed 3 of them when he tried to deny it, and 2 more to his family when he tried to send them after me. Chad was up for a big promotion, so I told him that we could either get this divorce, or I could kick up a fuss and make his employers reconsider his position. After I made it clear that I didn't want any alimony, and that he could keep his retirement, we went our separate ways. Shortly after that, Rebecca got pregnant, and they got married, and she aggravates to no end, but since my kids never complained, I was willing to just suck it up. Then recently Rebecca decided to get a little arrogant and publicly criticized my parenting because my child didn't do so well at the end of the school year, and how she'd raise her child to be smart. In the heat of the moment, along with some built-up anger, I lied and said that it wasn't very smart of her to tip off the wife that she was the affair partner. Chad wasn't there, but his mum and sister were, and he called me that night to ask about it. He always wondered how I found out, and instead of telling the truth, I said that Rebecca was the one who tipped me off with the photos and told me when and where they'd be. And for some strange reason, Chad asked me to keep our kids for the whole summer, which I was willing to do in exchange for getting them on Christmas. I heard a few weeks after that Chad and Rebecca didn't have a very good summer. Rebecca has been messaging constantly about this, but it doesn't have anything to do with my kids. I went silent mode. I was talking to my brother about this, and he thinks that while it's understandable why I lied, that it was still wrong. But since I don't care about Rebecca or Chad, I have to ask, am I the a-hole? Yeah, like this comment says, Rebecca's entire relationship with Chad is built on a foundation of lies. Karma's a This one too, Rebecca is fine with people lying. She cheerfully spread her legs for a man who was lying to another woman about their family life, so obviously she gets off on dishonesty. Since Rebecca loves it when people lie, she has nothing to complain about now. In fact, you're to be applauded for giving her life a much needed missing zing around lies in a relationship, not the a-hole. And this comment too, yeah, when two cheaters get together, it never ends well. They know what they're capable of and there's never truly any trust. Yeah, this comment too, not the a-hole. The audacity for her to criticize your parenting is so laughable considering the questionable moral compass that she's navigating with. It seems her and your ex prefer a life littered with deceit, so a taste of their own medicine should hardly come as a shock. Your priority is clearly your children's well-being, and if standing up for them means that you have to engage in a bit of verbal judo, then so be it. Sticking to honesty is important, but sometimes the strategic move to protect your kids from negativity is understandable. Keep your head high. Parental wisdom isn't taught. It's earned through battles like these. This comment says you're probably an a-hole for it, but it was a well-deserved a-hole move from what you've shared. You don't owe them the truth. Honesty is the best practice, but sometimes you gotta color outside the lines. If your ex's trust in your words outweighs the trust that he has in Rebecca, that's a reflection of their relationship. Was it a petty thing to do? Yeah. Did 2 wrongs make a right? No. But 3 left turns do. She bit off more than she could chew, and he's still holding on to his fragile ego by still caring about how you found them out. OP, I applaud your gameplay in setting up your dominoes for a long game before knocking them down. You deserve to dish out a little bit of karma of your own in this situation. The next one's on the Entitled People subreddit. Entitled couple plan a photo shoot at my gazebo. I, 50 female me, rent a place along a river in Ontario, Canada every year in August for 10 to 14 days. My rental includes exclusive use of a cabin, a private deck with a hot tub and a furnished gazebo. Mine is the only rental with a gazebo. Just east of my place is another smaller cabin with just a dock and a hot tub. I get back from a quick grocery shopping expedition. As I'm unpacking my car, a young woman, EW, walks over and climbs onto my deck. She's obviously either just showered or just gotten out of the hot tub. She's in a bathrobe. Entitled woman, hi, I just wanted to stop by and tell you that me and my partner will be doing a photo shoot in the gazebo tomorrow morning. Just letting you know as a courtesy since we will be moving your boats out for the photo shoot. Don't worry, we will put them back. Wow. Now, the gazebo is attached to the deck, which surrounds my rental cabin. My kayaks are in the gazebo when rain is forecast. It's been raining off and on all day. Now, I have exclusive use of the entire area. Nobody from the other rentals is supposed to come near me. This info is part of the owner's orientation for all the new arrivals. I'm standing at my cabin door with grocery bags in my hands, dumbfounded that she thinks she can take over the gazebo that's part of my rental. Entitled woman, so are you staying here alone or do you have your husband and kids with you? Do you own the cabin? How much did it cost? How long have you been here? Bullet quick questions, no pauses for answers. Me, you're in my private space, please leave. Entitled woman, I'm just being friendly. Me, no, you're intruding on my space and invading my privacy. Your questions are intrusive and creepy. You will not be doing a photo shoot tomorrow or anytime in my gazebo. Please leave now. EW, no need to get snippy, she says in a snippy tone. We're doing the photo shoot tomorrow, so you better not interfere. Given your attitude, I think it's best that you head into town by 8. Don't come back before 2. Me, not happening. Get off my deck and get out of my space now. Entitled woman stamps her foot. You're being unreasonable. You're the only one who has a gazebo. You need to share. Me, no I don't. Leave now. I went into the cabin, I locked the door, and I immediately messaged the owner. I've been renting here for years. The owner and I have become friends. They did not show up for their photo shoot, and the owner had to chase them out of the rental the next morning. They were still in bed an hour past checkout time. How are these people even real? Yeah, this comment, the audacity of people amazes me all the time. Yeah, same here. Yeah, so I thought I'd come over and tell you that I'm going to use your gazebo tomorrow. Like, they didn't even attempt to ask. They immediately started telling OP that they were going to use it. The audacity. Yeah, that's enough for today. That was such a wild ride of an episode, and I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Definitely need to read something wholesome after what we've read today. Don't try to be the best, just try to do your best. Yeah, that's so true. That's good advice. I love this meme format too. We see this one all the time. If you light a lamp for somebody else, it will also brighten your path. Wow, that's also so true. Cute. Oh, that's a good place to end the episode. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time today. And if you did, make sure you let me know down below in the comment section, and also like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today, goes to Aussie Mum 32. What is it with cheaters when they get caught? It's always someone else's fault. Yeah, and we see that so often, don't we? Like, absolutely no accountability for anything. Like, oh no, actions have consequences? No, what are you talking about? I can't just be awful and get away with it forever. I know what I'll do. I'll just blame everybody else. Yeah, it's so exhausting, isn't it? Thank you for leaving that comment, and thank you for watching the videos, guys. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!